Ladies and gentlemen,
this is Gamertag Radio.
All right, welcome to Gamertag Radio, episode 1415. This is your host, Danny Penny, and also joining me on this episode, we have Paris Lilly. What's up, Paris?
I want to point out, I was literally telling him something, and he basically was like, hey, yeah, whatever. All right, welcome to Gamertag Radio. Like, he didn't give me a second to breathe. It was like, wow.
Hey, man. This reasons why. There's a lot of stuff happening today, so we have to, move forward. It's all good. But, yeah, man, shout out to P. Hopefully going to be joining us in the future here. And, yeah, we're going to continue the conversation about the Nintendo Switch 2 because Paris finally got hands-on here in LA, the LA event. And I heard, because I've been talking to a couple of people that went to the event, and also the one in New York. It looks like the one in LA was better with like the layout, the space. That's good. That's good to see, man. Good to see. So we will talk about that. Maybe briefly talk about a little bit about Marathon. I know it was an announcement yesterday. They showed it, gameplay footage, and I just want to hear your thoughts about it because I completely don't know much about it. I only know the basics, so but we'll talk about that later. But first, head over to gamertagradio.com. Listen to our past episodes. Also, you can find us on any podcast app. All you have to do is just search for Gamertag Radio, subscribe, share your content. By the way, I haven't been seeing the numbers on Spotify. I don't know what it is. Woo! It's been increasing like crazy over there, man. So thank you for everybody who's listening to the show on Spotify. All right. So also, if you like to be part of our family discussion, remember, here's how you could be part of the show.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right, Paris. So, Nintendo Switch 2 LA event. Shout out to Nintendo for inviting you and also both of us to attend the event, one in New York and also LA. How was your experience so far, Mac? I know we've had a conversation. You had a lot of questions last recording about Nintendo Switch 2, and now you got hands-on. Your thoughts overall?
Okay, first of all, why am I not allowed to thank Nintendo myself? Why you got to do it for me?
I'm just making it quicker and easier for you. I'm making it quicker and easier for you. But you can repeat it again if you want.
No, that's my point. Now I got to repeat it like a schmuck. Thank you.
It's all good.
No, on the real. No, obviously, yeah. Thank you for Nintendo for inviting me out to the LA event and being able to get hands on. I mean, I was there essentially about 4 hours. I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Being able to, I pretty sure I played everything that was there. Every game that was available. Got hands-on time, obviously, with the Nintendo Switch in handheld mode itself. So got to see the hardware, got to see all the accessories. Like I said, got some time with all the games themselves. And ultimately, let's table price for a second, because that's obviously a conversation we've already had. I think people know my feelings on that. But I was impressed with the hardware itself, with the Switch 2. It no longer feels like a toy, if that makes sense, right? Like when the original one came out, it didn't feel like the super premium product. And especially now that we've had things come out like the Steam Deck and the Rogue Ally and all of that, we have other handhelds we can compare to the Switch, and the Switch 2 feels very premium. It really does. Felt really good in the hand. Again, I have big hands, so I love the larger size of it, the bigger screen, bigger Joy-Cons, all that. So it felt really good to hold in the hand and to play the games. I think the first game I played in handheld mode was Mario Kart World. It's great. I mean, it felt good. It was just very intuitive. I just jumped right in and had a blast being able to play with it. Got hands-on with the new Pro Controller as well, playing stuff in dock mode. And again, that good. I mean, my one thing with Nintendo will always be when I pick up the controller is it always takes me a minute to get used to the different button layout every time. Cause I like PlayStation, no problem. Cause it's the symbols, but when you do this reverse Uno with the Xbox controller and the Nintendo Pro controller, it always throws me off on the button layout. But anyways, Like I said, played Mario Kart World. The first thing I played was the standard Grand Prix mode. Played that in docked mode and handheld mode. Standard Mario Kart. Had a blast with that. Had fun. Then I went to that knockout mode. Oh my God. The competitive juices that came out of me on that one. Oh my, boy, I was so mad. So I know you talked about this before, but the way the knockout mode works is almost like a battle royale where it's 24 players to start, and then you get to a checkpoint. When you get to the first checkpoint, I think what is it? You gotta be in the top 20, then the top 16, on and on and on until obviously you get to the very end. And that first match I had, I'm doing great. I'm in first, I'm in second, back and forth. I'm doing good. I'm getting through the checkpoints. We got to that final 8, and I remember we got to the checkpoint for 8, and I'm in first place, feeling good. Man, someone hit me with the lightning thing, and then I got smushed like right after, and I was out. I was hot. I was heated. I went to our the PR rep that I was working with at Nintendo. I was like, hey, I need to do this again. Y'all got to let me go again because I got cheated. And then I did it again. And the same goddamn thing happened again. But that was the point. It was just a blast to play. It was very competitive. I mean, people were yelling, screaming. Like, it was a lot of fun to do that. And to give people a layout. So I came in as media. So they had a media group that came through. And they kind of had us grouped together to go for the Mario Kart stuff. And then once you get past the 2 Mario Kart things, then you just go into the open floor, go play whatever you want. And I already told you the story. I won't repeat it here, but you already know, Danny. I kind of messed that up a little bit. But that's another thing.
Oh, Paris.
But the point I'm making on that is I was part of the media group, but then the public was there as well. So it was a mixture once you go into the open thing, media, public, and all that. But when we did Mario Kart, that was all media stuff. And even, like I said, with the media people, everybody was super competitive, had a blast with that. So did that. Then I got into the open floor. I'll just kind of run through some of the games that I played, and I'll kind of circle back to any questions you might have. Played Metro Prime 4. Did that in the Joy-Con mouse mode. Worked great. I mean,
it's good, right?
Yeah, it was very intuitive. I mean, I'm fully transparent. I don't know how much I'll play that in the real world. I love that option is there to do it, and it works. It didn't feel cumbersome or anything. Very easy to pick up and play. Did Civ 7 as well in mouse mode. Same thing. You're essentially playing it like you would play mouse and keyboard, on a PC. So that worked just fine as well. Played some Street Fighter 6. Played the Switch 2 accessory, game that you got to pay for. I mean, that's obviously another discussion. Fun little mini game stuff in there. Played Mario Party Jamboree as well. Played Hades 2. I was really digging Hades 2 on the Switch. And these are all in docked mode. These were not handheld. I played them all docked mode with a Pro Controller, or like I said, did the combo with the Joy-Con like it was a mouse. All those were fine. I went over to the booth where they had Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. Now with that, I got to both play in handheld mode and in docked mode. And this is the quote unquote Switch 2 versions of it. Look great. Really did. Look really great. I mean, in comparison to what it was on the original Switch. Now, obviously, the original Switch didn't look terrible, but again, better frame rate, smoother, the whole thing looked on that. Now, what I did do, and I'm sure people have seen the picture online, I brought my Switch OLED with me as well, because I wanted to do a comparison of the screens for the Switch OLED, a size comparison and a screen comparison, Switch OLED to the Switch 2. I mean, I have to say, and I've seen your comments online from people that were not at the event and have not seen any of this in person, but LCD looked great in comparison to the OLED. Obviously, OLED is the better tech. We all know that. But Nintendo, whatever tech they're using for this LCD, because remember, it's VRR, it does HDR, all that. It looked good. It looked
Actually,
good.
I'm gonna show the tweet that you posted here.
Yeah.
For people could see the comparison from the both. So this is it right here. So
Yeah.
it's big, but see, like, I see the replies. People saying, "Oh, but it's not OLED." Honestly, even the picture that I took from far, and I'm holding the Switch 2, you can see how clear it is.
Yes.
It's great. It looks phenomenal.
You are not going to pick this up and go, man, this should have been OLED. I mean, look, we know they're going to come out with an OLED version. No one's arguing that. Of course they are. And I'm sure the OLED version will look even better. But what I'm saying is you won't be upset with your initial Switch 2 with this LCD screen. The colors pop off the screen. Again, it does HDR and all that. With the VRR, the higher frame rate, everything's a smooth experience. It looks great. Obviously, Danny, you saw it in person. I don't know anyone that has gone to either of these events that have complained about that LCD screen. And I think that's what I'm trying to convey to people that are skeptical. It's going to be fine. And that's why I'm showing you a direct picture. You can see yourself. And trust me, the picture does not do it justice. Even with that in motion, LCD screen looks fine.
Yeah, it feels like it pops out.
Yes.
Like the colors and everything, right?
Yeah. And
That's
remember, cost wise, be glad it's an LCD at launch, because if you think 450 is a lot, imagine what it would be at an OLED. Be even more. So that's the other part. But anyway, so like I said, I did Breath of the Wild. I did Tears of the Kingdom as well. That looked great. I already talked about Hades 2. Did that. I didn't play Split Fiction, but I watch people play Split Fiction. Looks great. Look great. Look fine. Then I went over it because I'm holding one game to the very end because people aren't going to be happy with what I got to say. But then I went over to the mature content section, and that's where they had Yakuza 0 and they had Cyberpunk 2077. Both played fine. Obviously, you guys know my connection with CDPR and Cyberpunk. So I had a vested interest to see how Cyberpunk would play on the Switch too. And I have to admit, we played in dock mode. So it was 4K, because I even asked a person at CDPR, it was 4K 30. Man, I'm not used to the 30 frames per second on Cyberpunk because I've been playing on PC for so long with it at a high frame that it definitely took me a minute to go, whoa, why does it seem so slow?
Yeah, that happened to me too.
Because it was at 30 frames. So I didn't get to play in performance mode at the 40 frames, which I definitely want to do. Plus, I want to play in handheld mode as well. So I want to check that out. But once you got used to it at 30, it was fine. It's Cyberpunk. For that running on a Switch, it looked fine. It looked good. I mean, is it PC path tracing and all the other crazy bells and whistles? Of course not. But it looked good enough. It looked good enough that it is extremely playable. And one thing, when I got a chance to talk to a person from CD Projekt Red that they pointed out, something I didn't even think of, is the fact that, sure, you have people like myself that know Cyberpunk, pick up and play, no problem. But for a lot of people, because again, it was open to the public, this was their first time ever playing Cyberpunk 2077. So they are essentially introducing this game to a new audience. And this is the Ultimate Edition. So it comes with Phantom Liberty, all the updates, everything. Like I said, played fine. And I was playing in Dogtown, which is the most graphically intensive performance area of Night City. And it held up fine. So I don't, obviously I'll get hands on later to see how it does in other areas, but played just fine. And like I said, Yakuza 0, played on that. That played fine as well. Now, the last game that I want to talk about, and I'd made one off comment because, you know, our friend Stealth Online, excuse me.
Take your time.
Edit all this out.
I will.
Sorry. So talking to I made one comment to our friend Stealth Online, and he'd asked me, hey, what games did I like and all that. He didn't ask me what I didn't like, but he asked me what I like. And I was like, Nintendo Mario Kart World was the standout. I said from third party, really enjoyed Hades 2. And then I just added in, I was like, and honestly, my most disappointing was Donkey Kong Bonanza.
I told you.
It just, and you know what's funny? Because you had said that, so I had that in my head already. But then I'm talking to someone that I know at the event that was hyping it up. Oh man, it's great. So I'm getting two varied opinions on this. So I'm like, all right, let me judge this for myself. It just did not click with me. I get, and I don't know if it's just the demo that they're providing versus once you're in the actual open world game itself. I get the destructible environments that they're doing. That was impressive. But the moment to moment traversal platforming part of it, it wasn't fun to me. I guess this felt like it wasn't like Donkey Kong Country, but it wasn't like a Mario platformer either. It was trying to get the best of both worlds, and I feel like it just didn't pull it off either way. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe once the full game comes out, it'll be fantastic. TBD. But my initial impression of it, it wasn't a vibe for me. It wasn't I got to get this day one when it comes out in July. It was, man, let me wait and see what other people got to say once the review comes out, because this is just not something that feels like it appeals to me. Whereas Metro Prime 4, day one. Mario Kart World, day one. You know what I mean? So I definitely see the potential of the Switch 2 and that quote unquote Nintendo magic, what they do great, but Donkey Kong just didn't do it for me.
Yeah, I think my theory is it's the demo, I think, because when you watch the trailer, you're like, oh, wow, you could do that. Oh, the exploration, and you could do a whole bunch of other things, boss battles. I felt like the demo, one, it was like very tutorial-ish, and then after that, you go to like another area, and then it ends. Like if you go to like a certain area, you will complete in the demo. I'm like, really? This is it? So I felt like it was more about the demo. That's the reason why I didn't like it. You know, and it could be once the full game releases, oh, we're probably gonna like it. You know, that happens, you know. I think and I get it why this is coming out, because the new park is already opening it up now soon in the Epic Universe in Orlando, the Donkey Kong Country park, you know. So I get it, you know, but we'll see once the full version comes out, you know. But look, there's people that love the demo. I was kind of like meh about it. It wasn't terrible. It was just not compared to like Metroid and Mario Kart, you know? So we'll see.
And that's the thing. I mean, look, and talk about Kirby's Air Ride. I played Kirby's Air Ride as well. I enjoyed that too. This is what I'm saying. It was, for some reason, Donkey Kong just did not connect with me the way I think I wanted it to. Maybe I just had different expectations from what they're trying to accomplish with this game. I'll definitely give it obviously another chance, you know, play the game. We'll see in July when it comes out, but that's just my initial impression from it. But I will say overall, the event was great. Like I said, I know you mentioned like at the New York event, like people are commenting on the LA one. LA one, it was at CBS studio in Los Angeles. It was very open, easy to get to all the stations. They had, you know, people there to demo the games, you know, to help you if you hadn't. Like the girl that was with me when I played Metro Prime 4, boy, she loved her job. I tell you that, boy, she was all into it. It was all just like being a big cheerleader and making sure everything was great. But everybody was very helpful there. Nintendo did a great job with it. So again, I do want to thank them for inviting me out. But like I said before, we've gone back and forth on the price and all that. So I don't need to repeat that here. But I will say that the Switch 2 is going to be fine. People are going to buy that Switch 2. Like I said, it feels like a premium product. The thing that I took from this ultimately was and I mean every publisher will be putting games on that thing. The fact that it plays as great as it does in docked mode as a console, and then it plays, it's way, in my opinion, a lot more comfortable in handheld mode than the previous Switch. It's gonna be that device that people are gonna prefer to want to play games on, right? I just think so, because it seems from a performance standpoint, this is definitely, I'm not saying it's a PS5 or a Series X. That's not what I'm saying, but this is definitely PS4 Pro Series S type power that we're seeing here for performance from what I've seen so far. The fact that they are able to accomplish 4K and in handheld mode, you're getting 1080p, and at performance levels with DLSS, you're getting 60, 120 frames, you know, and obviously something like Cyberpunk is going to do with VRR 40 frames. Because again, remember that screen on the Switch 2 is 120 hertz VRR. So variable refresh rate. Again, everything was buttery smooth, looked great. Really did. This is, again, shows you their confidence in the product, because they're opening it up to the public. It's not just people like me playing it. It's just random person, you know, who, you know, got an opportunity to get hands on with, and everybody was enjoying the experience there. They were. I didn't see nobody with a frown on their face. I know that. So Switch 2 is going to be fine. I know all the crazy tariff stuff. I think ultimately we will be able to pre-order it. It's going to be at $450. and it's going to sell out day one. I think this will be a must-have product going into the holiday. And I'll say this one last thing, and I'll bring Cyberpunk in this to kind of heighten my theory on this. Seeing how well Cyberpunk is playing on the Switch 2, and knowing that even that game is 5 years old and it is basically a reference game for high performance on the PC, the whole thing. Grand Theft Auto 6 will be on the Switch too.
I can see that too.
Don't think it won't. It will be.
I can see that.
I'm not saying at launch. I'm not even saying in 2025, but it's going to be on the Switch too. I'm pretty sure that. And one other thing that we got clarified was, speaking of Cyberpunk, because we know a lot of people were saying, oh, they ported that over in 7 weeks. No, they didn't. It's a 7-week-old build. It took longer to port it than 7 weeks. Got that confirmed at the event as well. But yeah, I'm seeing, look, expect every Xbox game on this thing. Expect not every PlayStation game, but there will be some PlayStation games on there. EA, Ubisoft, Devolver Digital, 11-bit, on down the line. They're putting all their stuff on this. I'm telling you. Because that's just how good the Switch 2 is from a performance standpoint. And again, Nintendo led the way of making these hybrid devices that are handhelds that can play AAA experiences, and you can dock it and play it at home like a normal console. Why wouldn't third parties put their games on this? It would, Of course they are. We can debate pricing and all of that, but expect to see major titles on the Switch 2. 100%.
I think people are going to be very surprised the companies that are looking into this device and the ones that are going to start working on porting games to the device in the future, because I see the potential, Paris. Like, after seeing Cyberpunk, Yakuza, and look, all this, think about this, man. When you watch the Direct, there's a reason why Nintendo and CD Projekt Red had that trailer there of like, oh, we have Cyberpunk in there. It's to show the power of the hardware. Now you could present that to other publishers and studios, like, oh man, come port games to the Switch, because think about it, a very small group of studios had the Nintendo Switch early, like very, very small. We haven't seen Xbox. We haven't seen what was like you said, Rockstar. We haven't seen that. I could definitely see that now after playing Cyberpunk, man. I could definitely see that.
Everything's going to be in there. I mean, again, as an example, and Xbox already confirmed this, you don't think the next Call of Duty is going to be on Switch 2? Of course it is. Forza Horizon, all that stuff, they're going to put on there. It just makes sense. And like you said, from a Take-Two standpoint, NBA 2K, EA with Madden, they're putting all that stuff on there. There wouldn't be a reason not to. And the fact that, like, I even saw someone in the chat just now say it, like, even with CDPR, Cyberpunk, they're promoting cross saves on there. So I can bring my progress from PC or Xbox over to Switch 2 and back and forth. I would imagine other companies are going to do the same thing. I know Ubisoft obviously is big with that, with their games. Xbox is now starting to do that. So as long as Nintendo allows Xbox to do cross saves, they're going to do it. So I'm telling you, it's going to be that device that you're going to want to have. Sure, you're still going to have your Xbox, your PlayStation, your PC or whatever, but that Switch 2, as it already is now, is going to be that that on the go device that you can bring your games with you wherever you go. And I don't see that stopping with Switch 2. I mean, again, we can debate price and talk about all that because I'm not happy with it, but the reality of it is, it's people are going to buy this thing. They are.
Yeah. And I know, speaking about price, I know people brought up like Mario Kart and all that stuff. Here's the thing. The demo that we got to see at the event, it's a small portion of stuff that we're going to get to see once the full version comes out. Like in a couple of days, we're going to get to see a Nintendo Direct all about Mario Kart World. Mm-hmm. I hope that they'll show more stuff to do than just what we got to see at the event, which I know there's gonna be a lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was having this conversation with Paris. I was like, bro, they basically got a little bit of stuff from like Forza Horizon and just added into Mario Kart World and just added some new stuff in there that it's not in Horizon, But man, that game is gonna be big. I know people are saying about price and all that stuff. I totally get it, but this is why I think the bundle is gonna be a huge successful bundle when it comes out, like the Switch 2 Mario Kart all together. That's really cool. Now, Did you try the? Oh, two things I was going to ask, Paris. Did you try the? What was it? That tour thing that they had, where it talks about the features and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. The Switch 2, I just call it the Switch 2 accessory thing. But yeah, it's like a tour through the Switch 2, how everything works in it. There's a couple mini games in there you can play. Oh, and there's the other thing I did. I did check out the GameCube function on there.
Well, how was that? How was that?
I played Wind Waker, just really super quick, not long. I just wanted to check out and see what it looked like. Again, it's fine, you know.
What did you think of the Pro Controller?
Why don't you roll back 10 minutes?
No. I'm saying no, but let me finish. What you think of the Pro Controller compared to like people saying, it's not worth getting the Pro Controller because it has like only a couple new buttons. I'm like, I don't know. It felt a little bit different. A little bit different.
I thought it was more premium than the previous Pro Controller.
I agree.
If that makes sense.
I agree.
This is what I'm saying, and I know we keep talking about pricing and everything. I get it. It freaking sucks. I am not defending any of that at all because I'm a cheapskate. I ain't trying to pay nothing. Mm-hmm. But it does seem like the quality level of their hardware has gone up a tick across the board. It does. So I get it. Like I said, the $450 isn't outrageous. I do wish it was a little less. I do think the Pro Controller price is insane.
It's expensive.
Isn't it $90? Or $80?
It's 80. I think it's 80. Yeah, so it's basically it's either that or Mario Kart World. Which one you gonna buy?
right, exactly.
But
again, everything felt very premium. It felt very quality. I didn't feel like none of this. Like if I'm handing those off to my kids, I don't feel like it's gonna break in a month. You know, I feel like it's gonna last unless you're just being extremely irresponsible with it. You know, I will say though, when you first walk in, I don't know how it was in New York. So when you first walk in, they have, and they're not powered on, but they have Switch 2s that you can pick up and hold. And obviously, I took photos and I got video and all that stuff too. Mm-hmm. Man, when I first picked it up, I was like, oh Lord Jesus, don't drop this thing. Because again, it feels like something that's expensive. Like, oh man, don't drop this, so again, I think Nintendo did a good job with the hardware. I do.
Yeah. I think Nintendo learned from their experience with working on the OLED, because I know I mentioned this soon a couple episodes ago. Like, it felt better than that, and that felt premium. That OLED version felt very, very premium when it came out. You know what I'm saying? So like, and also, I didn't remember seeing this at the event. The taking out the Joy-Cons. The attachment that you play. Was that at your event? I don't remember seeing it.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Hey, so I was able to take a Joy-Con off. It was very hard. Very, very hard. So the point I'm making on that is, unless you're just absolutely trying to just rip it off of the Switch 2, it's not coming off. It is locked in. That electromagnet they got in there absolutely works. Again, it feels very sturdy, wasn't wobbly, anything. That thing's not coming out unless you just are purposely like, I just want to rip it out. It's not going to come out.
Yeah. It's even when it connects, like it feels like it's hard, right? It feels really, really hard. Yeah. That part is really, really good, man. Really good.
And it was funny because the Nintendo rep that was there when I was doing it, they had a horrified look on their face, like, "What are you doing?"
Why? Because you were trying to.
Yeah, because it wasn't like, I just said. It was like, I'm like, and pulled it out, and they were like, probably thought I was trying to break it or something. You know what I mean?
They were like, "No, you got to press this button." It's like a button in the back. And it's cool. Like, I took both out just to want to see like how comfortable it is playing like this without the device. It felt good too. It felt really, really good. But I wish they had the attachment one, the one that you could connect all the Joy-Cons together and just turn it into like a controller. But I still prefer the Pro Controller though.
No, they had that. That was actually the first controller I picked up when I played Mario Kart World. What was that? Again, it was fine. See, I like that the Joy-Con. God, I don't have my Switch 2 in front of me, right? But like, this is, I actually put my other case on. So these Joy-Cons are bigger than the ones that you would have on the Switch. And that's how it is on the Switch 2. I prefer this way more. Again, I got big hands, but that's how the Switch 2 is. So playing it like that, where you just link them together, you can easily just play it just fine, like a controller. It's way better.
Yeah, I know we have a question here, and this is from a viewer here. I don't know his full name, but let's see what it says here. The Casual Noob Gamer. Do we know anything about the battery life?
Just
I
what
believe
they
we
said.
talked about this.
Yeah, just what they've said, because there was obviously because every Switch 2 portable was plugged in USB, so the battery wasn't going to die at all. But they've said 2 to 6 hours, depending on the game that you're playing. Like, imagine something like Cyberpunk is probably closer to 2 hours than 6. But if you play something like Hades 2, I would imagine is going to be closer to the 6.
Yeah. At the event, and it's probably the same for the one that you attended to, man, they were promoting 120 FPS a lot at the event. Like, oh,
that's
look,
how I play Metroid. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it plays very, very smooth.
Yeah.
Very, very smooth. And I tried both. I did the mouse, and also I did the motion. I prefer just playing just regular controller. I noticed once I lift the controller, it was pointing up in a different direction. It was shooting bad. I'm like, oh man, this is good. I wasn't paying attention. I was just trying to play like this, like just normal, but it was still detecting as like motion. But like you said about mouse, bro, it's perfect, man. And here's the thing. I don't see a lot of people playing it like that. Because I know a lot of people were asking, I think at the Q&A event, do you need a table to do that? You could do it like that. Even when you're playing, let's say you put it on top of your jeans, it can still work like that, like as a mouse, But I just don't see myself doing that because I don't play mouse and keyboard at all. I definitely see myself playing the controller. But like you said earlier, the option is there, and it's optional if you want to, try that out or not.
What I ultimately think will happen with that, like a game like Civ 7, if someone's really trying to be serious about it and play it like that, they're going to use the mouse mode for something like that. Metroid, I think it's something people will try, but ultimately they're just going to play it the standard way, I think. But it does work, so it doesn't feel gimmicky. It's all right, I can play this, but how many people on the Switch is really, I might as well be on the PC, is really going to sit here like this and play? They're going to just pick up the Joy-Cons and just play it that way, or they're going to have a Pro Controller and play it that way. So I don't think I think it'll be a small percentage that you see actually take advantage of it. But I'm happy that Nintendo has added that feature in, because it opens it up. Like Civ 7 is on there. Bro, you already know Xbox is putting Age of Empires on there. You're going to see more of those type of games come to Switch, because the option to be able to play it that way is going to be there. Aura, History Untold is another one. You know what I mean? So you're going to see a lot of games that traditionally would be more preferable to play on PC with mouse and keyboard. Switch is going to be able to play them.
And I picture this now, Paris. Mario Maker. Not Mario Maker. Well, Mario Maker is one of them. I can see doing that. And
that's
also
one for level
Mario
Paint. For level design.
Paint.
Yeah, Mario Paint. But I'm glad you brought up Mario Maker. So obviously, they haven't shown off anything with that as far as an update goes to Mario Maker 2. Maybe they're making a Mario Maker 3 or something like that. But to that point, level design, that's going to be, I can't imagine them not putting that feature in Mario Maker. Of course they are.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to pre-order my Nintendo Switch 2. The amount of people that we're gonna see, hopefully, we'll see, at Summer Game Fest with that device once because the day it launches the day before Summer Game Fest, so we're gonna see people over there,
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We probably should talk about the Xbox stuff with that as well. But
yeah, that'll
be interesting because it comes out on the 5th, and then we know that Summer Game Fest starts the next day as far as the YouTube, the presentation, the showcase. So travel wise, boy, people going to be stressed over that one, because it's like you want to get your Switch 2 before you leave, but you got to make sure you get to LA. Oh man, it's gonna be
chaotic.
Look, this is one time I'm glad I just got to get in my car and drive up to LA. I don't have to worry about that. I'm gonna get my Switch 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yep. Look, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the I don't know if Xbox is probably gonna have they're having a digital event, but
we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it.
But also Summer Game Fest, I'm gonna show the Switch, and then this is also an Xbox.
Yeah.
So yeah, what you were about to say about Xbox?
So to your point, that Xbox is only doing a digital only event. this year. So there's no fan activities that are happening in Los Angeles for Xbox this year. They've hinted that for the 10-year anniversary of FanFest, they're going to do something. Obviously, TBD location, what that means, we'll obviously see. And you and I have talked about this offline already, but I mean, I know some people that were already planning to come to LA, had already booked travel, everything. They've had to cancel it now because there's no fan experience. And even last year, to be honest, so a couple years ago, 2 years ago and the year before that, when they were doing the pre-recorded showcase, they still would have it. So, hey, the fans could come sit in the theater in person. And then afterwards, they would have like a Fan Fest event, hands-on stuff. You can meet and greet with people like Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond and all that. They would have like audience participation stuff because hell, I even was in one when they did it. But then last year, it was just, you come to the theater, you can watch it, get out. They didn't do anything else.
Very small.
After
very
that.
Small.
So now this year, they're not even doing that much. They're just, hey, it's just all digital. And I know this won't be popular, but I understand it. I get it, because really you're only catering to the 1% at that point that can actually afford to fly out to Los Angeles. And if you're only just sitting in the theater and not doing a fan fest, then what's the point? I would prefer that what they've hinted at, do a standalone event. Like I would imagine they're going to do a fan thing in Gamescom. They always do. So I imagine that doesn't change. But do a standalone Fan Fest event, celebrate the 10-year anniversary, give people plenty of heads up. They can invite, you can fly it in, and it is 100% dedicated to the fans. It's not a media event. See, we ain't covering nothing. If we go in as fans. That's the point. It's for the fans. It's to get hands-on with stuff. It's to meet people at Xbox, all that. So I actually would prefer that versus the way it has been, whereas we're obviously creators, so we're trying to get stuff done. And then when you got a bunch of fans there at the same time and you're trying to balance the both and, lines and all this crazy stuff, I'd rather do that. And I know people won't be happy with that, with this last minute, announcement. They've had to cancel plans. But I think ultimately that's going to make more sense. And you can still come to LA. I know IGN's doing their thing.
Oh yeah, IGN Live.
You can still go to the YouTube theater for the Summer Game Fest opening presentation, but no, Xbox isn't going to do anything here. And I get it. I get people not happy with it, but I also understand the other side of it too.
Yeah, here's what somebody replied to me with. Oh, the only reason Xbox decided to do that because they don't want to hear bulls if they see the Nintendo and PlayStation logo. I'm like, if they announce like a game at the showcase, no, it's not that. It's more of, it's a business decision. Like, does it make sense to do it there? Does it make sense to maybe invest your money and do it somewhere else? Or maybe have it at a bigger location that's 100%, like you said, 100% dedicated to fans. It's about business, man. Like especially now with everything that's happening with the economy and layoffs and all that stuff, to get things approved it's gotten more difficult for not only Xbox, but just every other company in gaming right now, so this was just, I know it was a hard decision, but I get why they decided to do that. I get it, but it's not because Nintendo and PlayStation logo. It's not because of that.
And I saw the conspiracy. I even had somebody DM me, ask me like, do you think it's true? And I was like, LOL, no, it's not. I mean, think about it. Think of it this way, logically. Anyone that is willing to spend their money to fly all the way out to Los Angeles, hotel, Ubers, the food, everything, to quote unquote sit in that theater and watch whatever Xbox is going to show, you're already plugged in enough to know that these games are going to show up elsewhere. So what are you booing? The only people that are going to boo are miserable people on the internet that hide behind anime avatar. Nobody else is booing that stuff because you already know. You already know eventually Fable, let's just say they show Fable, eventually Fable showing up on a PlayStation 5. So why would you boo because there's a PlayStation logo on there? Again, you should be excited about the games that you're seeing. We're at that point now. So it's not a shock. They've ripped the Band-Aid. Why do you think Phil Spencer has talked about this multiple times? They're giving you the heads up. He even said with Xbox era, expect other logos on the games.
Yeah.
Why are we hiding that? We're letting people know where they can get the games at. Whether you like it or not, if you're going to come to an event just to boo something that you already know is going to happen and it ain't going to change anything, I don't know. That just seems silly to me.
I mean, think about this. Just yesterday, watching Marathon, right? You go to the official PlayStation blog, and this happens twice already. One where the first one was, I think, was MLB, the show, where they show Xbox coming to Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, whatever, right? They had that on the blog. For this one, PlayStation did the same exact thing with Marathon, available, coming out on Xbox, PlayStation 5, PC, whatever, So, like, get used to it. We're going to get to see this more from PlayStation in the future. We're definitely going to get to see that from PlayStation a lot more. And Xbox and Nintendo is just going to be like, hey, come to our device. Like, it's going to happen, bro. Like, it's a totally different time now, man. People got to move on from the stuck of the like 90s, early 2000s. Like, it's completely gone. Every company is going to release content on every platform. That's it. It's happening, man.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. And again, we've argued that stuff a million times, but ain't nobody going to come and boo. It's like, you really going to spend thousands of dollars to come just boo and look silly? No one's doing that. Come on.
You're listening to Gamertag Radio.
Yes. Speaking about Marathon, Paris, I missed the live stream. I saw the trailer. It looks interesting. I definitely want to check it out. And I know people have been talking about Marathon for a very long time, but now it's like the first time that we get to see gameplay of the game. So, do you think this is going to be a success? I've been seeing mixed reactions from people. I think the game is going to be fine, but I've been seeing a lot of mixed reaction of like, oh, well, it needs to do this, it needs to do that. Like, I would love to get your thoughts of like just overall Bungie and the new Marathon game.
So, full disclosure, I've been playing Marathon since 2023 when they invited me out to the studio to see it. Over the past couple of years, I've been, fortunate enough that I've seen different iterations of what Marathon is. From when I originally played it in 2023 to what it is now, it has definitely changed. The core concept of it is still the same, though. So think of Marathon this way. Marathon is at its core an extraction shooter. So something like Escape from Tarkov, right? Where you basically have a run where you go into the world, you're chasing loot. It's a PvP/PvE environment. So you will have PvE enemies in there that you will encounter, but there'll also be other PvP, squads in there as well. It's a 3-man team. You can go in solo as well. But the point is, with the PvP encounters, they can obviously kill you. You can kill them. You can steal their loot, the whole thing. If you die in the world before you get out, because you have a time limit before you can get out. If you die in the world, you'll lose whatever you have on you. If you're able to, quote unquote, extract it, you can add that into your inventory. There's some permanent things that will carry over to different runs, things like that. There's obviously other perks that you can upgrade, things that you find in the world to improve your gear and your weapons and all of that. What makes Marathon unique compared to something like Tarkov is they've essentially made it now into like this hybrid extraction shooter, hero shooter. So there's 6 different classes that you'll be able to get. I think in this demo that they're doing, there's 4 of them that'll be available. And even the classes, they aren't static. You can upgrade them and kind of, change out some of their loadouts and perks and that you'll have on that as well. I love the art style of it. It's 3 maps, I think they said at launch, that you'll be able to play. September 23rd is the launch date. They're going to do this closed alpha here on April 23rd. And I would imagine they'll have some kind of open beta over the summer as well. It has potential. It definitely does. Here's my concern with Marathon: lasting power. I definitely think this is something everybody will want to jump in and check out. How many people are going to continue to play it for the long term? is the thing. Not to mention they're charging you $40. This is not free to play. It does have a battle pass that comes in it. I know when I was at Bungie, and this was again a couple of years ago, we sat and we had full on discussions about monetization, and we're very adamant you cannot have pay to win in this. If you're going to do a battle pass, you need to make very consumer friendly, cosmetic items, stuff like that. I want to say even back then we were pushing for more of a free to play model, but ultimately they sold it on this $40 SKU. Like I said, I'm more concerned with, like I played Destiny for 10 years. Will I want to play Marathon for 10 years? I don't know. I'm leaning towards probably not, but we'll see. Once we get into it again, like I said, these are 3-man teams. You're doing the runs. You're chasing the loot. What is going to be the thing to have me come back in year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5? That'll be the big challenge that Bungie's going to have with it. Obviously, adding more maps into this, adding other classes of heroes that you're going to be able to use, constantly updating the weapons, things like that, gear that you're chasing in the world, enemy types that'll be in the world as well. That's going to be the key to Marathon, I think, long term. I think, like I said, I think September, you're going to see a lot of people jump on and play this. Will those same people still be there in September of 2026? That's the big question that Bungie has to ask. And that's going to be just like with Destiny, adding additional content post-launch to keep people, that carrot on the stick, to keep people coming back. Again, it's Bungie. From a shooting aspect, it's world class. No worries there. You're going to have fun with this. The PvP encounters were fun. They can get very intense that you're doing with that. And again, this is just in my limited playtime over the past few years, but it's fun. It's a fun game. I just have the concern of the long-term fun of Marathon, and we'll see what they're going to be able to do with that.
Yeah, because this is also it's not full price. I see people saying at
$40.
Like, it's gonna be $40. It's similar to Helldivers.
I think that's a mistake, personally.
You think so? Why? Why?
Because you're, and I understand how they're doing it. You're essentially buying year one up front. I think free to play makes more sense. Get more people in the door to try it versus putting this price. Because again, we're in a different world now. We're in a world of the Fortnites, of the Apexes, where these things, the Marvel Rivals, obviously, this is like my daughter's bananas over there right now. I can jump in and try it for free, and if it grabs me, I'll willingly pay for battle passes and all that moving forward. Mm-hmm. Will that be a barrier to entry for people that aren't sure? If I'm not sure about it, why am I spending $40?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? That's my thing with it. If I'm not sure about Marathon, I don't know, it's kind of, the art style's good. I don't know if I got to spend $40 to try it. I don't know. And you're going to hear a lot of that. I'm just telling you now. So really, it's going to come down to, again, hardcore OG Destiny fans, Bungie fans. We're all jumping in day one. We're going to spend the $40. It's the other people that it's going to be a concern. I'm glad that cross progression, cross play, PlayStation, Xbox, PC is going to be there. Look, Switch 2 eventually.
Oh, that's Switch for sure.
But
Switch for sure.
So, yeah. I mean, the population, it's going to be open to everyone to play. We're all going to get to be able to play together, which is great. I just hope there's enough there at launch to get people to say, yeah, it's not 70, it's 40. All right, I'll spend the $40 to try this out. Mm-hmm. Because you're essentially making a commitment at that point with the $40 that I'm going to stay for the first season of this, because that's what you're paying for with the $40. So this alpha, the closed alpha they're doing now, like I said, I'm assuming there will be an open beta, so people will get to try it for themselves. They got to knock it out of the park with that open beta. I will say that. They need to knock it out of the park across all platforms. There can't be a bunch of bugs. There has to be enough content in there in that open beta to get people excited that when September 23rd comes, here's my $40. I want to go play.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try it out. I want to check it out, the PC version, if it's possible. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap it up here because we have like another stuff we have to do. But
let me say one last thing, because I didn't say it at the top. I do want to thank, I want to thank Bungie, PlayStation for, obviously allowing me to be a part of this creator program that they've had over the past few years with Marathon. Because, like I said, not only did I get to go to Bungie, I got hands on with the game. I've been in various for lack of a better term, digital town hall sessions where they've shown us new concepts, Q&A back and forth. So, they want to make the best game that they can. They really do. This isn't hey, this is Marathon, you're just going to like it no matter what. It's like, no, we understand that the community is a core component of what Marathon is and what it will be in the future. So they definitely want all that feedback. So I do appreciate them allowing me to be a part of this early process in that.
No, shout out to Bungie and PlayStation. Now, a quick thing I want to mention that next week we're not going to have no live show because we're going to be at WrestleMania. But we're planning to have content recorded for you guys to check out. So I have some cool stuff coming up in the future. And also, probably going to have an episode about Blueprints because I haven't played it, but Rihanna played it in Paris. They're going to be talking about it too. So that's going to be a great conversation. And yeah, just stay tuned. We got some stuff lined up coming up very, very soon. There's going to be lots of traveling for both of us. So I can't wait for us to start talking about all the stuff that we have lined up for the show.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, Paris, quick question. I know you were at the Nintendo Switch 2 event. Are you planning to post more stuff like on your channel so people could follow it and check it out?
Why are you putting me on the spot?
I'm trying to help you.
What if I'm trying to promote? What if I don't?
You see?
What if I don't?
Look to the chat. I'm trying to be nice so Paris could promote his stuff. And he's like, oh,
because maybe if that was what I want to do, I could say it myself. I'm an adult. I don't need you to help me.
I had to remind you because you don't remember things. You can't hear and you can't remember. That's both. There you go. All right. Yeah, I just want to mention that. It's good. It's good. All right,
what? I'm done with you. I'm literally done with you. You've insulted me enough.
Hey. All right, guys. We're heading out. Thank you for listening to episode 14. 15. Stay tuned. Go to gamertagradio.com to listen to like past episodes and everything. Until next time, we're out. Take care. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.